This video is very particularly not an attack, but it is an observation. Not necessarily the derogatory nature. It's an observation that will profoundly inhibit certain people's healing. And that is when these gurus go on about being a person of color or being a person of a certain gender. When a guru or an online teacher or a coach or a therapist, it shocks me that therapists do this. They should be trained otherwise. As soon as someone makes it about a classification, they automatically inhibit other people who could be watching. This woman I was watching now was talking about inner child healing, and I could not be more grateful to her for that. But as soon as she said, if you're a person of color, or if you're a woman. Now, yes, of course, I understand that those two particular roles or classifications of a human being will... No, in fact, I'm not even going to go down that road, okay? Each individual, regardless of any of that shit, regardless of how you identify, how the world sees you, who you are physically, what you comprise of, regardless of any of that shit, it does not matter. The only thing that matters, specifically in terms of the inner child healing, the only thing that matters is you, your experience. Stop making about, I'm a person of color, my culture has taught me this. Stop making about, I'm a woman, my culture and society has taught me this. Start looking at you as an individual, regardless of classification, and you will then start unlocking your healing. It is not about your class. It is not about who you are. It is not about what you are. It is simply about you are, and irrelevant of what caused the problem, because the fact is we always cause our own problems, okay? Because we always have an ability to stand up for ourselves. We always have an ability to do that. The fact is my knowledge comes from women who have taught me this. These women who identified this themselves. Society is a problem for women. But stop just saying that and being like, oh, okay, I just have to be careful all the time. You can do things to help yourself be safer in the society. And that's what I want to get at, is that it is irrelevant, because as soon as a guru says you're a woman, so you feel bad in the society, that triggers you. Automatically, you just believe that as a woman, you should feel bad in the society. On top of that, that guru is eliminating the chance to help a lot of unhealed men, because those people will hear her talking about women and will automatically put their projections. They will automatically start saying, she's talking about women, it's a feminist, blah, 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 okay? Especially men, unfortunately, men, when it comes to the masculine versus feminine energy, majority of men are very masculine wounded. Everyone thinks they're feminine wounded. Their masculine side of them is the one that is wounded. That is why they attack and they're aggressive and they think they need to assert. And as soon as you make it about a female, that man in his masculine mentality is going to block out any potential healing that he could have got from that video, because instead he is now projecting his own self-limiting beliefs onto that guru. He is now projecting his own insecurities, his own issues, his own fears about his own role as a man. So it will unlock certain healing, it's true, but it will only unlock the healing for him to deal with if he chooses to go and deal with it. But people being people, especially men being men, tend to latch on to finite details like that. And same with races and culture. Stop with the classification. Her exact example was, if you're a woman of color or a woman of a certain culture, then this is what's going to happen. As soon as you say that, who do you think's going to keep watching, and who do you think's going to leave the fucking video, dude? Why don't you just want everybody to watch your video? Because everybody, dependent on their own individual life, can learn something from that video. Especially the men that are starting out learning how to heal, especially with inner child healing. You cannot just go and say, oh, the classification is this. If you were a woman of color, then you probably had the worst time ever. But the issue with man in particular is that the man thinks that he needs to be active. Now, pay attention to what I just said and did there. Do you notice how I made it about the man? If you're a woman, you automatically feel isolated from my words. You see this? Don't classify. As a guru, as a healer, as someone who's giving advice, every single individual person on this planet has the ability to change their life. See your own issues, whether they come from internal or external, and then take the action you need to mitigate or solve. That's all. Stop classifying.